Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to an all new episode of Self-Love Sunday. Today's video, we are going to be talking about how to practice self-love while you're in a relationship. I get questions from you guys a lot about how to keep up with your self-growth journey when you're in a relationship. A lot of people tend to lose a sense of themselves when they're in a new relationship or when they've been in a relationship for a long time. If you are new here, hi, hello, I am Carrie Rad. I make videos about self-love and self-growth and just how to get through this life the best that we can. So take a moment, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and that you have notifications turned on, set to always, so that you never miss a new video from me. I just got distracted because there was a human walking past that window. Let's get into the habits and tips for maintaining self-love in your relationship. Tip number one is that you are in control of your own happiness. You are the master of it. It's really easy to be in a relationship and think if your partner does this or that a certain way, then that's what's going to make you happy. But that's not the case. You are in control of your own happiness. Your partner doing something can maybe briefly affect the way that you feel, but you need to find your self-love from the inside out by doing things like hobbies that you love to do, taking time out for yourself, and just really spending time with yourself a lot to really realize what it is that makes you happy, because your partner is not the only thing that's going to make you happy. And relationships, as much as you hope that they stay intact forever, I've been in relationships before, obviously, that didn't work out, and I was in a place where at one point of it, I didn't want to leave the relationship, even though it wasn't a great relationship, because I was afraid that what was going to make me happy besides this person. So I just think that we need to have our own independence when it comes to happiness and realize that we're in control over it, because putting all of the pressure on somebody else to make you happy is not a healthy balance in a relationship. You're on your own. You can figure out how to make yourself happy, and then that's totally going to bleed into the relationship in a lot of really great beneficial ways. Tip number two is to maintain a degree of space and independence. This is really important because this is going to help you grow as an individual, and it's going to make it so you're not just leaning on this person for absolutely every aspect of your life, for entertainment, for love, for happiness, for laughter, for even sexual. Like, you should be able to explore yourself and know yourself. Focusing on these more independent habits is going to make it so that you have your own relationship with yourself, so that you're not, for lack of a better word, banking on all of your positive feelings from this one person. As much as I love spending time with Alex and truly feel like I don't get tired of him, I know that there's a possibility that at some point I could get tired of him if I don't have my own independent things that I need to do. And waking up in the morning and having a sense of independence is really important to me, and really it's valuable to me. It's something that I cherish and that I take pride in, is my own time. And that is something that when Alex met me, he fell in love with, because I was independent and I was an empowered woman who just wanted to do my own thing, but also absolutely loved and cherished and valued our time that we spent together. Codependency is a real thing, and in my opinion, a little bit of codependency is good. I don't think being entirely independent in your relationship and not doing things together is healthy, but there's definitely a big balance that needs to be shifted there if every waking hour and every piece of free time that you have is devoted to this person, because you need to devote your free time to yourself sometimes. When we meet somebody new, and even when we've been in a relationship for a long time, but definitely when we meet somebody new, we just forget about everything else that exists in our lives. We forget what we love to do every day. We sometimes stop talking as much to our friends that we used to talk to all the time. We can just get so lost in a new relationship that that's all we want to live and breathe at that moment in time. And that can be really detrimental to your life, because maybe those friends won't be there when you come back around to say, hey, I miss my friends. Or maybe you'll just kind of forget how much you used to love these things that you used to do on your own, all of these hobbies. So making sure that you are keeping up with all those things when you're in a relationship, because remember, those things and who you were and the things that you did was part of the reason why your partner fell in love with you in the first place too. So yeah, that's important to think about, but it's also really important to just think about you doing these things and continue doing these things because you need to for your well-being and for a healthy lifestyle for yourself. And if you can implement things that your partner likes to do with what you like to do as well, that's awesome. But just remember to maintain a sense of independence with the things that you love and go out there and still do them. And that will help inspire your partner at the same time to continue doing the things that they love to do as well. Tip number 4 is to be honest, and be honest with your partner about everything that has to do with you. Are you struggling financially? Do you have something in your childhood that was a traumatic experience? Do you have a hard time with something that your partner's doing sometimes, but you're too afraid to tell them? You really have to deep dive into your heart and allow yourself to be vulnerable in a relationship. And I know that it's not always easy, and I think that you always want to impress your partner and put your best foot forward. And so sometimes sharing things that are harder can be difficult. And the only time you should do what I'm telling you right now is if you're in a relationship that you know is a strong relationship and is somebody that you trust, and it's somebody who you want to spend a lot of time with for potentially the rest of your life or for a long extended period of time. It has to be somebody that you know and trust. But if you're with somebody that you know and trust, then I think being vulnerable and honest about every aspect of who you are is really important, because we try to hide things sometimes from our partners because we want to just be the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. And if we're not honest, then we're just living in this world of shame. And when you're living in this world of shame, then you're just not going to feel good about yourself. But the moment that you open up and you're vulnerable with your partner, they're going to, most of the time, be so supportive, because they love you. They're not going to just write you off because of, what you might be going through or what you've gone through or whatever it might be. I always feel like honesty is the best policy. When you are in a relationship, being honest can really open up a new level to your relationship that you didn't even realize it could be there. Because if you're hiding something, then they're just going to feel, it's just going to exist in the relationship. I've gotten DMs from you guys about people lying about their finances or their assets or anything like that. And I think that when you're dealing with that, that's not a good place, because then there's just lying involved, and then honesty is always the great route to go. Lastly, I do want to mention, because I'm talking about all of these different ways to be independent and to take care of yourself and to grow yourself, I think it's really important to remember that compromise is really important as well. It's part of a relationship. So as much as it is important to think about how you can keep your self-love and your self-growth in a relationship, it's really important to be compassionate and to compromise when needed, because that is part of self-growth. That is part of learning to love yourself, because it's full circle. It's not just one-sided. It's full circle. And at the end of the day, when there's a balance in the love that you're giving to yourself and to your partner, and the compassion that you're giving to yourself and to your partner, that's when you're in a healthy relationship. You can't just have it on one side. It has to be equal, and you have to be giving as much as you're receiving, and you have to be giving them as much as you're giving yourself as well. Everyone is important in the relationship, and there will be times where maybe you feel like you're giving, and you're not getting as much in return, but that's okay sometimes too. Because sometimes giving everything that we have when that person might not be in a place to give, that's compassion. And that's taking care of the person that you love, because sometimes people just need to receive at a specific time in their life. So be there, show up for your partner, show up for yourself, and do your best in any way that you can in the relationship. And that, I promise, will leave you in the best place, because whether or not you end up being with this person for the rest of your life, you'll always know that you gave it your all and you gave it what you could. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this video. Are you guys in a relationship right now? Are you guys looking to be in a relationship? Are you in a new relationship or old one? I'd love to talk relationships in the comments below. I love you guys to the moon and back, and I will see you very soon in a new video.